Welcome everyone to today's session. This is our last webinar for the year. We've been having sessions from every first Saturday of the month. And we are delighted to hold the last series for the year 2024. And we welcome everyone as a participant here. Feel free to write on the chat where you are coming from. Please, during the session, mute. If you have a question, kindly just text and we'll be able to follow up. Now, when it comes to IELTA, for those who don't know about IELTA, our primary objective is to improve the quality of English language education by offering professional development opportunities for educators, advocating for effective language policies, and creating a supportive community for teachers. When we look at, we have several objectives that we normally follow. Kindly, Immaculate, please share the screen. So IELTA, so far we are 85 countries and 51 of them have registered with ambassadors who are following up. We have our mission, which is to, that's the number of the countries, we are 85 now. And if your country is not registered, you can always tell us, we register you, or if you feel that you can be able to volunteer and lead because it's a non-profit organization, we can be able to assist you to start a session in your place as well. So we have objectives and mission. Mostly it's just to encourage teachers and for career development at large. Today we have a speaker who is from Oman, Dr. Lorna. Dr. Lorna Layantas Beduya is a highly accomplished educator with wealth of experience in English language teaching and curriculum development. She holds a Doctor of Philosophy in English language from the University of San Jose Recolatas in Cebu City, Philippines. She has a license of advanced standing for Teachers of International English Authority for International English Teaching American Licensing International TESOL, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. A Master in TESOL certificate from Chomsky Language Training Center, and a certificate in CELTA. Currently, serving as a senior lecturer at the University of Technology and Applied Sciences in Salalah, Oman. Dr. Lorna previously held roles as academic coordinator and senior lecturer at Hiroshima Bunkwo University in Hiroshima, Japan for 7 years. Her teaching career spans over 28 years, during which she has also taught English in the foundation program at Salalah College of Technology in Oman, middle school in Zibo, Shandong, Republic of China, and in the Philippines. Dr. Beduya is a multifaceted professional, excelling as a curriculum writer, teacher mentor, demonstrator, researcher, conference presenter, and a teacher trainer. Her areas of passion and research interest encompass a wide array of topics, including innovative teaching strategies, mixed augmented virtual reality in language teaching, artificial intelligence in language teaching and learning, students' motivation, educational technology, integration, students' performance, social linguistics, curriculum development, social emotional learning, task-based language learning and teaching, teacher and student well-being, and computer-assisted language learning. Wow, you can hear the profile already shows you that we have someone who is going to give us a very wealthy, awesome session. Welcome, Dr. Lorna. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Miss Margot. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to this webinar. I'm very glad given a chance to speak with you all and to share my expertise when it comes to English language teaching. And the things that we really do as language teachers, and for the benefit of our students. Thank you for this opportunity, IELTA Kenya and IELTA, uh, of course, chapters all over the world. Thank you for this opportunity. So without further ado, I would like to start this session in a very different way also. You have heard Miss Margot introduce me in a very traditional way. Here's the other way that I would like to introduce myself to you. Please let me know if the audio and the video is okay. So can I share my slides and my videos, Miss?
Okay, it's
Because,
okay. So Immaculate
okay.
can start, then she'll
Yes,
share.
yeah.
All right.
Yes. Okay, here. Okay. Okay, there, right? This way. Hold on, okay, this one. Yes. Thank you very much. So this video was created using Photon. Okay, so we will be dealing with so many stuff right now. Later on, as we hold on, I'm just sharing my slide. Share my slide now. Okay, so yeah, designing instructional materials for English language teaching. So that was our introduction from Photon. I would like to thank my student for helping me create that lesson. I mean, introduction. He's already with us. Thank you, Hamid. Okay, so our overview. So we will deal mostly with three big topics along with a very broad one. So when we designing effective instructional materials, we will talk about that. Then we will talk about types of materials for diverse learners. Then the selections and evaluation of materials for specific teaching context. Sorry. Okay. So first and foremost, I would like to know, most of us here are educators in this particular situation. Now, please read on your screen silently as I go read it orally to you. Students, for example, enjoy games. So majority of our Gen Z students really into gamification. So you've been designing lessons because you believe that gamifying classroom activities offers numerous benefits. However, you're unsure about which instructional materials to use for your students with limited access to technology. So Can we reflect on this particular question for about maybe 2 minutes, and then write your views or write your answers on the chat, or you can have the floor, unmute yourself, and then say something about it. Anybody would like to start? Or some of you would like to go to the chat box and then write your ideas and your thoughts there. Anybody? So what would you do in this particular situation? You've been planning all along, but however, you're very unsure of what particular instructional material that you're going to use, because your students, they have very much limited access to technology. They only have their mobile phones with a very weak access to data or Wi-Fi connection. So what are you going to do? Anybody?
Can I try?
Yes, sure, Marcela.
You've given a good example that the only access they have is the phone, right?
Yes.
I would want first to know from them, because for the learners, we teach them from known to unknown. I would want to know if it's the phone, what do they think the phone is more comprised? I'm sure they will likely to mention a few. And because I want the concept to really sink in, I would ask them of the materials that we use to make the phone. And which other technologies are they aware of? Because even though they know the phone and they watch more from it, or mention things like television or radios, materials are generated from this. And with what they might have mentioned at that time, or they should be able to mention at that time, we'll now boil it down to, are we able to get such materials locally? Because we can use like carton boxes, wires, string, pops,
Yes,
eventually we'll something of the sort. So in my opinion, I think I want to tone it down, because now I want to learn it practically for them to really understand what it is.
Yeah, that sounds so practical. That sounds so practical and reasonable. Yes, of course. Yeah. So what you are trying to tell us is that what things, or I mean at hand or available for you and for your students, you'll just make the most out of them, right?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. I guess all of us educators would fairly agree with what Miss Marcella is talking about, because why would fantasize ourselves or just imagine of things that we do not have and we cannot give, right? So thank you for your sharing, Miss Marcella. Yes, thank you for that. Okay, so let's go to
Dr. Lorna?
Yes.
There's one more comment from Catherine. She says she can use real-life game materials or pictures depending on the class and age of the learners.
Yes. Games. Okay. Games inside the classroom. Yes. And
then we have someone else who has not written the name, says you can resort to traditional pen and paper, pictures, realia, or physical activities that do not require digital technology.
Yes, but still engage students in the way they really would like to, to be inspired and be motivated as they go on. I mean, you go along with your lessons, right? Yes. Yeah. Thank you for all your answers. They are perfectly fine and correct and really very practical in different so many situations. Yeah. Okay. So please allow me to proceed. This is what we call as hold on. Not yet there. Let me, okay. How to go back to my slides? Hold on, huh? Can I stop share for a while? There's something wrong with the slides. Okay, thank you. Okay, the importance of instructional materials in English language teaching. Okay. Let me screen share again. Okay, there. Okay. So there are many benefits. Could you please mute? Okay. Okay, there are many benefits of using well-designed materials. Okay, the first one is we look into the different materials that are already developed, or we want to benchmark them or create our own. But put that in mind that the benefits of using well-designed materials really support the different language and communicative skills that we would like to improved or developed for our learners. Okay. The second one is a very well-designed materials enhance and of course, motivate or sparks or ignite curiosity with our students. And of course, you will expect a lot of engagement of your learners inside the classroom. And then a well-designed materials, of course, okay, especially provides cultural context and authenticity. This is what most of our teachers are talking about, especially if technology is very far from our dreams or our vision to use or to integrate inside the classroom. Okay. So what are some principles, okay, of effective material design? Okay. The first one is the alignment with learning objectives and curriculum standards. So the instructional material should be directly tied to the desired learning outcomes and aligned with established curriculum standards. Why? Because this ensures that the materials are relevant and effective in achieving educational goals. That we should have start there. I mean, when we plan, before we gather our resources and the things that we would like to create, we should go back to the drawing board. That is the learning objectives and the curriculum standards. Okay. The second one is ensuring cultural appropriateness and inclusivity. Okay. Materials should reflect, okay? The materials should reflect diverse cultures and avoid stereotypes and be relatable to our students from various or different backgrounds. This creates a more inclusive and respectful learning environment. Okay. For a very good example of this is when we create reading passages that features characters from different cultural setting or background. Okay. And we try to avoid using examples that may alienate certain group of learners. Okay, especially the ones who are inside our class and those who will be using our materials. The third one is when we promote interaction. Okay, effective materials design should promote interaction and communication. In this way, effective materials should encourage active participation and collaboration among learners. There should be interaction that helps our students develop communication skills, and build their confidence. Okay, a very good example of this is when we let our students use a particular material, okay, like maybe a worksheet for if you have them, and then during a pair work or a role play, you will use the material to create a particular scenario, like for example, a shopping scenario. Okay, you would like to have somebody who would like to do the role as a sales assistant and one as a customer. Okay, another thing is that when you also try to use this kind of materials to give a lot of time for students to talk and to speak in the class using L2, okay, or the targeted language that we are about to teach. So there are so many situational. Aside from the shopping scenario, you could have the airport scenario, or realistically speaking, like going to a restaurant and ordering something, or like, for example, teacher and student scenario. So there are so many ways in which we could, apply this principle when we design or think of a material to create. Okay. The fourth one is catering to diverse learning styles and proficiency levels. So materials should accommodate visual, auditory, kinesthetic learners and learners that need more accessibility, or different kinds of or diverse kind of learners for varying levels of English proficiency. Okay. So a provision, when we provide something that is a mix of visual aids like a chart, a diagram, or a map, along with a listening text or exercises and hands-on tasks, like creating a poster or projects, for example, would be very, very, very useful. Okay. So when we create, think about the kind of learners that you have. Okay. So it's not just a group of learners, but individual learners. Okay. Not all learners are the same. We know that. That is the fact. So we have to cater all of them. Okay. The last one is integrating authenticity and meaningful content. Materials should reflect real-world language use and task to make learning relevant and engaging. A very good example of this is, when we try to create materials from authentic resources, such as news articles, menus, social media posts, postcards, to practice reading and comprehension skills. Okay. So aside from this, we have to also think about what are some ways that we could, try to prepare and plan for a good materials that we have to design. Okay, so according to Bridget Green, and one of her articles in 5 design principles for language learning materials development, she said that as language teachers, we create materials because not all of the text or the context or the topics that being provided for us in the course books that we are using, often they don't match as part of the learning context. Okay. Or aside from that, these materials are resources coming from the course books are not really that don't match when it comes to the learning needs and styles of our students, right? So in order to meet our learners' needs, their cultural, their educational background, their different learning styles, okay, So we have to think and ask ourselves, where do I start? Okay. So number one, there is, we think of appealing, the vision. Okay. The output that we are going to create. Okay. It should be appealing. Materials with heavy cognitive load, like text, when you look at a particular worksheet and all you can see are all text. Okay, nothing there. The black and white thing. Okay, and most of them are into, maybe you like your students to fill in some blanks or a multiple choice questions there. You know, that is the traditional way and the boring way. So how about making it less heavy, okay, unburdened when it comes to text, okay, and add more colorful images or photos that you might find very interesting for your students uh, to to explore. Then, of course, when we do something like create a sheet or like an audio or a video material, you have to scaffold everything. Okay. Start with very simple, clear instruction. Scaffolding does not only happen when you teach in front of your students. Scaffolding also has to be done when we think about the creation of our materials. Okay? So the third one is authenticity. Okay. According to Miss Bridget Green, don't reinvent the wheel. Okay. So when you when you get a chance to take a look at your course book and they said, oh, I want to design something like this. Are you trying to, uh, just duplicate what you are having right now? So don't reinvent the wheel, and then make sure you have the authenticity and the authenticness and creativity side of you. So think of all these principles of effective materials design and then go back to what your learners really need. Okay. The fourth one is the affective and cognitive engagement of our students, exploring the materials that you are trying to make use of, for them. So through personalization, when you personalize and individualize particular materials and make sure that what you are trying to let them engage is through the use of higher order thinking skills. Okay. You should also engage your students into meaningful interaction with the material together with you in the classroom. So cognitive engagement means the results of materials that are intellectually stimulating and meaningful. So you will know that your designs or your materials that you have designed are cognitively, what you trying to say, effectively engaged by your students, then it means that they are created, okay, with higher order thinking skills in mind, considering HOTS in mind, and you personalize at the same time. Okay, the creativity and the planning and preparation of the teachers are really important when it comes to the principle. When we do effective materials design. So when we choose the topics and examples that we should have it in mind that our students can easily relate to them. Okay. Photos, videos, audios, okay, and materials that are considered to be in real life, considered to be used in real life. They should relate to our learners because it will lead to more productive language exposure when we do something like this. The fifth one that Bridget Green would like us to remember when we design, okay, materials is that we are open to revisions, okay? Good material developers are considered to be thinking developers, okay? They are teachers, most of them, who have confidence in their ability and are not afraid to rethink and revise their principles and beliefs in response to further stimulus and information. So if you have created something, okay, you have created something that really would like to for your students to use, okay, always if it's for the first time, take it as a pilot or initial test of your material, or make it sure that you have shared it with a colleague, for example, and ask that colleague to, could you please try to do some test on this particular material that I have designed, and let me know how is it, how was your student be able to tackle with it. Okay, because revisions don't only happen for, in a matter of time, like after the lesson. We are busy. We are always busy. Okay. And we have so many tasks at hand. So if you cannot do something about the revisions of your materials, then you can, take some notes. Okay. And then schedule an appointment with colleagues, or maybe try to make a dry run of the material with a certain group of students for materials evaluation purposes. Okay. And you could also make use of this during, what is this, during the time if you are planning to create or to create a research or an action research for your class about the materials that you have designed. So we have different types of instructional materials. Okay, so we all know that there are materials that are text-based. We have your course books, you have your worksheets, reading passages. Of course, we have the audio and visual aids, the videos, the podcasts and infographics, digital tools, and the teacher-created resources. Okay, these are materials that we customize the tasks, the activities, and the projects and the role plays that we would like, or situational things that tasks or activities that we would like to assign to our students. Okay.
Excuse me,
So
Dr.
when
Lorna.
we
Excuse me,
yes.
Dr. Lorna. You're not sharing the slides. We're still on one page.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me share it again. Okay. 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 How about this one? Is it updated? Is it already updated? I'm now into adapting and customizing materials.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So when we adapt and customize materials, we have to think of how we tailor the materials according to our learners' needs. How about your age, their language proficiency, the cultural backgrounds, and the learning goals that we would like to achieve for our students on that particular day. Okay. So when we modify resources, we simplified the very complex context that we have, because we don't want to put cognitive loads or heavy cognitive load to our students using our instructional materials, right? And then we incorporate real world tasks and contexts. Of course, simulated interviews, real life scenarios, interactive tasks. These are some of just examples when we incorporate authentic real world tasks and activities using our materials. This is a good example that I would like to give to you. If you can see the photos there. Okay, these photos are taken in Bunkyo English Communication Center of the Hiroshima Bunkyo University, where I taught for 7 years. Okay, we are a paperless class there. I mean, the center is really into paperless type kind, okay, or kind of language instruction. Of course, we don't what do you call this, avoid or neglect or not or set aside. We just set aside paper based just in case if tech doesn't cooperate with don't cooperate. Yes, tech facilities and connectivity to Wi-Fi issues will happen every now and then. So mostly the ratio of our students use of iPad is 1:1. So with this, I maximize the use of this device by creating this scavenger hunting, okay, game. Okay, so with a particular application like Metaverse app, you can create games, e-games, scavenger hunting, quizzes, and many more, pools, name it, you have it. So when I started to, experiment with this particular application a long time ago, it was just 3 hours for me to watch it over YouTube. And then I created my first 3 breakouts there. And then I asked a colleague to do a dry run with me in this particular application before I shared it with my students in the classroom. Okay. But unfortunately, this particular application is already been deleted. Okay, because what they call the developer, they are venturing into another kind of application for business and education. Okay. This one is the latest one that I've used in the classroom here in UTAS for my level 4 foundation class. We use the VR Google Cardboard and VR lenses. Okay, the cardboard that you are seeing right now in one of the photos here in the collage was assembled by my husband and myself when he was here with me in Salala. So this is just a prototype, and the lenses, the VR lenses that some of my students are using here, I got, I think 3 or 2. Yes, a friend of mine from a university in Kyoto gave to me as a gift for this with this particular experience, VR lenses. So I got a chance to let my students experience the difference between how does it feel when you use VR Google Cardboard and VR lenses using a mobile device, while watching a 360 video over YouTube. Okay, because if you just flash, let your students see on the screen the video, they will never appreciate it because it's a 360 video. So a 360 video needs very special lens to go along with it in order for you, the one who is watching it, to experience it in a very more meaningful way. The next one is that let's talk about authentic materials, like what some of our colleagues already talked a while ago, that they mostly use the traditional ones, okay? The real ones, authentic ones that are very much available to them and for their students as well. So authentic materials, these are the texts and the photos and the videos and audios that, excuse me, materials that has not been created for teaching resources, and you are trying to make use of them in the classroom. So learning content, when you think about authentic materials, the learning content comes from a genuine source, okay? So the teacher develops particular tasks, activities, or questions in our project around the material to suit the level of the language competency, the learning styles, the age, cultural, and educational background. So that should be the first thing that we should consider. Higher order thinking skills. So they are used not only for advanced processing of information, like when
Dr. Lorna.
Yes.
Excuse me, before you go on, someone has just sent a comment. Mr. Bhatia says, in Kenya, curriculum development process is solely done by a central body, that is KICD. This means it comes up with the curriculum objectives, instructional materials, instructional strategies, or methods and evaluation procedures. By this, the teacher is left to implement the curriculum without much adjustments, especially on material designs. So maybe you'll give us a take, then we continue.
Yes. Maybe it would. Is it okay if I'm going to make a comment on that right after we finish our presentation?
Yeah, that's okay then.
Please remind me. Yes. So our HOTS does not only happen when we craft our questions, like what we would like to, our students to test or to evaluate students' retention and learning at the same time in the classroom. We also need to use higher order thinking skills when we create or design materials, okay? So if you compare the two, compare the lower order thinking and a higher order thinking skills, way beyond, so different, right? So I will not focus more on that because I'm sure everyone already knows what is higher order thinking skills or critical thinking skills all about. Okay, so what are the advantages of using authentic materials in teaching? So when we teach our students, because we cater to what interests them, then that is something very valuable for them. Okay, so knowing our students' interests, their goals, their challenges, their issues, and what you may have, their learning styles, you can curate or select or choose authentic resources that will really be aligned to the learning goals or objectives of the lessons of the day. Okay, so we should bear that in mind. Using the course book and the curriculum is fine, of course, but here, hello, let us remember that we also have an academic freedom as a teacher. Okay, the curriculum is just a guide. The real thing is what you are going to do with it in front of your students. Okay, the show matters a lot. You have the guide, you have your lesson plan, you have your course book, your curriculum, you have your curriculum, you have your syllabus. But what's next? Okay, the real show is that how you are going to implement all of these things inside your class. Okay, so sharing real world text, your videos, add flavor to your lesson. That surely ignites our students' motivation and increase their engagement in our day-to-day classes. Okay. The next thing is you find a news content relating to topical news or local events, localized. Okay, just like what one of our colleagues talked about. We have to get into what is available to us, especially what is local, can be what you call available to me as a teacher and available to my students as well. Okay. Then the last one is give it a personal touch, but never overshare. Okay. I use this photo of mine. I hope it's clear. Yeah, not very clear. Okay, anyway, that is a photo of me and the husband in Thailand on an elephant. Okay. So I've used that to talk about something that we have experienced when you know, a first-hand experience with an elephant. Okay, so that is something personal, but you can do something like that, but don't overshare it. Okay. Then I also use postcards. Okay, these are the postcards sent by my colleague Michael when he was in Nepal, in Kathmandu, Nepal. Yes, and when he was in Hawaii. Okay, so I've used these materials, these postcards, for reading comprehension purposes. Okay, it's an enrichment. I can use this as an enrichment or as a springboard to another lesson, to open a lesson. Okay, so you can all use photos. If you don't have them at hand, like the personal ones that you have, you can look into photos that are all attribution free. So you don't have a problem with looking into materials or photos that are, I mean, owned by other people, especially taking materials or photos that are from the internet. Okay, so you have so many free photo sites there, like Pixabay, Flickr. Flickr, I think it's not really, but some of the photos there. Yeah, and so many things. Just type photos that are attribution free. Okay, and then you will be directed to websites that have many photos that you could make use of in your lessons. Text-based, at the back, Bunkyo English Communication Center, we have in-house materials. Okay, so they have in-house materials there. So we created our own vocabulary list for our students, of course, with Japanese translations, and then for assessment also, one-on-one assessments with student and another student, like for example, to practice their speaking. Okay, like here you have the example, quiz your partner. And if you have zero tech in front of you, nothing there, so why not create an example card when you like to have a traditional way of, you know, opening the class or the lesson in gamifying your activity. So do it in a tangible way. Okay, so this is an example of a scavenger hunting card. Yeah, and then if you have the tech, then make use of a video. Okay, so I use videos a lot from National Geographic, from Pathways National Geographic, and at the same time some that are very interesting that you can find over YouTube. Okay, just don't forget to cite that this particular material or resource is coming from this source. Yes, cite your references. Okay, I will give you some examples of interactive video, listening activity, and sample instructional video. Please let me know if the videos and the audios are good at, I mean, audible, and you can see, and at the same time audible at your end. Okay, I'll stop share. And here it is. Please wait. Okay, so hold on, huh? Let me share this again. Okay, yes, so the first video that I would like to show you is introduction for listening.
Hi, I'm Gary. I'm from New Plymouth in Taranaki, New Zealand. Good luck this year.
Hi, I'm Renaud, and I'm from Hull in Quebec in Canada. I look forward to talking to you.
Okay, another example of, I mean, those videos are created inside the studio of the university. They really have a studio there. And then teachers, one by one, we create our own material using an audio or a video facilities in the studio. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to show to you is, hold on. Okay. Okay, here's a sample instructional video that I'm going to show to you. I've created this during COVID, and I want my students to, this is an assessment, actually, an assessment for students to do an online presentation. Because during, of course, during the COVID times, we can only do a full online classes. So we tried to do our best to let our students, come up with an online presentations and how they're going to handle it. Okay, so please watch a little part of this video.
Hello, my name is Lorna, and today I want to talk to you about my favorite advertisement. I choose the Kia Super Bowl 17 Melissa McCarthy ad. Here you can see a scene from that advertisement. This ad is selling a Kia car. The car in the advertisement is eco-friendly.
Actually, what I'm trying to suggest for my students here is that this is how you're going to do your online presentation. Okay, so after you created your script, you have to do something like this. Okay, so after I've shown them this instructional video. Okay, I also did tech lesson, a little bit of their time to how to do the tech side of online presentation. Okay, so the last one that I'm going to show to you is that this is an interactive video. Okay, I found this video very engaging, and then one of my colleagues created an interactive one for our students to use. Have a look. Okay, so this is the interactive part there, because in the Play Pause It application, your student will be asked questions in particular scenes in the video. What does this sign mean? Okay, and then they say, for example, go right, then submit. Okay, so like that. So yeah, so those are the different types of materials, audio, video materials that I've used in Hiroshima Bunkyo University before. Yes. Let me share my screen. My slides again here. So let's explore digital tools that might be very helpful for all of us also. So when speaking from my own experience, every time I create digital tools, designing materials using digital tools, I always make sure that it's grounded by some theories. And the most important theory for me when it comes to tech integration is the SAMR models. Maybe some of you already have an idea of what is SAMR. So basically, SAMR, the first two there are for enhancement. So when we use a particular tech tool and then substitute it because we don't want to use a paper, that is just for enhancement. And then we level up into augmentation. So we still want to have a direct substitution. And at the same time, we want the functionality of it a little bit improved together with our pedagogy. Then still that is enhancement, but one step higher. Then if we are thinking or rethinking of a transformative one. Okay, so when we modify, we allow the technology to modify or redesign the pedagogy or the lesson materials that we would like to, where we would like the tech to be integrated into. And then we go higher, we redefine. Okay, this allows the creation of new tasks or activities that we already prepared that we previously think that it's inconceivable, but it can happen. So we transform everything. So the innovation there is the highest one when we redefine the use of technology together with our instructional materials. Okay, this is by Dr. Ruben Puente Dora, the SAMR model theory. Okay, so